the number 18 Cortland Red Dragons.
And then it was number 4 earlier, Salisbury University. They lost to. So that was a tough one.
Playing Salisbury down in Salisbury, Maryland, as we're getting ready for the start of things right here at Laker Turf Stadium. I'm Kyle Spizak, joined alongside Jolie Santiago as Oswego State field hockey continues in back-to-back matchups here at the Turf. Previously, men's soccer lost 4-1 to the Oneonta Red Dragons. The Lakers hoping to get a win on the home turf here today with field hockey as starting right away. The Lakers have possession of the ball. They're going to pass it up right now. Moving it up the field. Intercepted away by Geneseo. Ball's going to be placed.
And
it's intercepted.
Yeah, and we want to make note of the weather today. Earlier, it was coming down really hard. Thankfully, right now, it's kind of let up with the rain, but not the wind. It's still very windy out. Fans are shivering, I see down there. I'm shivering, and I'm in the booth, but it's something that we're looking out for right now because the players are definitely dealing with this. The athletes on the field right now are dealing with the cold and the wet turf. So let's see how that affects their play.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier, Jolie, during the pregame and warm-ups, you could see that there was a big difference with the ball opposed to how it normally moves. It's bouncing a lot slower. It's taking a bit weirder turns, and it's a bit harder to place your passes. So how is that going to affect both teams here today, you think?
Most definitely. I mean, when you feel like you're off of your groove like this, it's definitely going to affect your mental state with how you're playing, but also your physical state. You're going to have to work a lot harder than you would have if it was a regular day, sunny day like we were having last week. So that's something that they're going to be looking at. Thankfully, they had warm-ups so they can kind of get into their rhythm of how they're going to play it today. But for the most part, yeah, it is feeling a little rocky out there for them, especially with the wind. I feel like it's so cold that, running around and all of this, it's taking extra breath away that you wouldn't have if it was a nice day.
Yeah, not ideal athletic performance conditions, but Oswego now has a great opportunity as they have the first free shot of the day. And they're going to pass it up to the point, wait for him to come in, go back to the other top of the point. They're going to try to load up and shoot that one, but it's blocked by Geneseo. Geneseo able to get that one out of the crease, moving it up across midfield now, trying to headman the ball. And they're going to be able to get it across the halfway point, but Oswego is going to smother them on defense. Oswego is going to reposition that ball. He's going to give it over to number 11, Dent. That was number 10, Darcy. And Darcy with a stick check there stops Geneseo, but it was with the backhand, so Geneseo remains in control of the ball. Number 23, Simser taking it up, trying to find player up the field a little bit too far. That's going to roll out of bounds.
And it's coming back to the Geneseo side. So they figure out where to put it.
Geneseo with the ball now, and a high lift from Geneseo over top of the Oswego defenders, trying to throw it back over to number 11, Pocho Bradsky. Not able to corral that one. Goes out of bounds. And same with Oswego, a bit too far out of the way. Rolls out of bounds. Rolls underneath the fencing and goes out of play. Somebody's going to have to chase that one down. And you can tell, Jolie, like we were saying, that the wet turf is really having a huge effect here. We can see there's been a lot of chopped shots so far, just within the last 4 minutes of play here.
Yeah.
You can see the effect it's having. The ball's having a lot harder of a time moving through, and it seems to be that their sticks are even digging into the ground a little bit more than they normally would.
Yeah, you definitely see that out here. It's interesting because before the players were sliding for the ball when they were playing against the Lakers and the Red Dragons were against each other. They were really sliding far when they had to make like some side slides and all that. But right now, when it comes to the sticks hitting the turf, it's a little different. that's where you're going to see different materials hitting the turf, so therefore it's a different outcome. And, that's just one of the weather conditions that they're going to have to go through. I'm sure they've dealt with so much in their careers being college Division III athletes. So I know that they will persevere despite the adversities.
And a bit of a connection between ice hockey and field hockey, possibly. Ice hockey, if the ice is too wet, the puck sticks and doesn't move as well.
Yeah.
Very possible it does the same here in field hockey. The ball's a bit harder than a lacrosse ball, not quite as rubbery, but still, I mean, you can hear the ball coming off of the sticks. It's pretty hard. As we have a battle there, it's going to be pushed out of bounds by Oswego's Kazel. And Jordan's going to throw that one up. She's going to move that up to Schaefer, but it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a Geneseo ball as Pocho Bradsky's getting ready to take this. She's going to elect to give it to Fawn instead. Fawn's going to whack that one down the field, and it goes through the legs of an Oswego player, and now streaking down the field is Claire. Claire putting some moves on, trying to cut inside, does cut inside, looking for a shot. She gets a shot off, but it goes off of the leg of Phillips. Phillips with two pad saves back-to-back.
Mm-hmm. Right off their pads, too, so that was good saves. Way to utilize every inch of that field goal.
Yeah, good positioning, took away the angle, didn't really have too much to work with, but had to get a good shot off regardless. But a better stop as Oswego's then turns the ball over in center field. Trying to punch it down a bit farther is Pocho Bradsky. She gets it to Olzak. Olzak gets it stolen from her. Now coming up the field is Oswego. They're going to try to throw it up. She was looking for Jordan, wasn't able to connect on there. Goes out of bounds. It's going to be still Oswego's possession. As Schaefer's looking where to move the ball to. And she's going to try to poke it up through, but Geneseo's defense is going to shut that one down until it's back now. But Jordan was out of bounds on that one. She's going to get sent back a little bit further. Pocho Bradsky throws it back to her defense. This one's going to travel way back over to number 3, Hernick, my apologies. And this one's going to go out of bounds. Darcy lets that one go out. Elects to take the placed ball and work from there. She's going to lift it real high there. Out of bounds. But that one had some airtime on it. And Oswego with possession of the ball. And another chop shot there, Jolie. We've been seeing a lot of those to start so far.
Yeah, it's really digging into the turf there, and it's affecting how they're passing the ball. But communication seems to be good on both sides. They're both very active in communicating with one another on where the ball should be, who's where, what needs to happen. So this is different from other games we've definitely seen. But they're calling now that the ball's going to go on the Lakers in Lakers possession.
Yeah, and Phillips with another save there. Phillips with a few saves now, 3 or 4 saves already in this game, about 10 minutes into play. So she's playing solid in net to start for the Lakers, standing tall as Jordan tries to throw that one up. Just goes a little out of bounds. Was looking for Beauchat, couldn't connect on there. That one's going to be lifted up high in the sky. Darcy's going to hit that one down, and it's going to be stopped. Oswego's going to get possession of the ball. And if we take a look at Oswego's last couple of games out, they went to Keuka on Tuesday, and they won 5-1 against the Keuka Wolves. Before that, last weekend, they took an 0-2 loss last weekend at home against the New Paltz Hawks. Before that, a 1-2 loss against Utica, a 0-2 loss against Rochester. But their last their last win other than Cuca last weekend was a 12-0 win over Morrisville. As that one goes high and that hits a player in the head.
Wow, that ricocheted very far off of Darcy's head, or actually, my apologies, number 27.
And
Looked like it shook her up a little bit, but no, number 23, Simser, is okay.
And Oswego with a few changes.
Yeah.
Got some new players coming in. Vetelaire takes her first minutes of the game. And a special game here today at the Laker Turf Stadium, as today is Breast Cancer Awareness Night.
Yeah.
Or day. It's still midday.
Yeah. There's a lot of awareness that goes around during this month in terms of breast cancer. It's a very well-known awareness month, and I know that with a lot of athletes, it stays with what they wear. They're wearing pink today. You see it on their shirts, or you see it in their headbands, or maybe even on their cleats. So that means that it must mean something to them. So as breast cancer awareness comes to the start, it's here in Oswego.
And that one's almost kicked away, and it's going to go in.
Good.
It just crosses the goal line, and that's a goal for the Geneseo Knights. A weird play there. It just slips under the pad of Phillips, goes a little bit. Oswego almost defends it at the corner, but Geneseo is just able to get a tap in there. Gets it across the goal line by maybe an inch, Jolie.
Yeah.
Not by much, but it was just enough for the ref to signal a goal.
Yeah, it looked like they were going back and forth in there, but it ended up being a goal for the Geneseo Knights, their first goal of the day, and potentially one of many.
As we have our first score of the game about 10 minutes into play here at Laker Turf Stadium in Oswego, New York, with Geneseo now leading the Lakers. 5 minutes to go in quarter number 1 of 4 in this matchup. As Geneseo's passing it around in their own zone. That one bounces up a little bit weird, goes up the stick of Hernick. Back to Hernick. She's moving up the middle. Looking across, trying to find a player running downfield. Wasn't able to connect, but they get it back. Anyways, now running it down the field is Geneseo. They're going to be stopped by Oswego real quick before it's dropped back to Cunningham. And it's back to center field now. Dropping back is Hernick. Trying to find number 17, Shilaki, was not able to connect on that. Now Oswego has possession of the ball. They're trying to bring it up. There's a battle for it, and the whistle's going to be blown. It's going to be awarded to Oswego, as they're going to try to launch it down the field, but it's going to be stopped by Pochabradsky. And Geneseo takes it right back, though, as they're going to try to move it back to their defense. They drop it back to Hernick once more. Hernick looking across the field, trying to find her teammate in Cunningham. And now Rowe's taking it down. Rowe gets it pickpocketed from her by Oswego, and Oswego's moving up now. Kazel's got it. Kazel trying to do some stick handling, but stopped by Geneseo. But Oswego takes possession of it again. Now coming down with some speed. Oswego has a chance here. They're just go a bit wide. McNally had a great chance there, cut through the defense like a hot knife through butter, but was not able to finish it off at the net. But Oswego still has it in the Geneseo zone, but now Rowe intercepts it and before an Oswego stick gets on top of it.
That's always hard when the ball goes, you're so close and it just goes right past you and onto the next team. So, yeah, that was close, but not close enough there. But I'm sure they'll pick it up right now. In these next couple plays. As
a forecheck from Lewis on Geneseo gets them the ball in prime Oswego territory, and a battle for the ball. It's going to be awarded to Geneseo. They keep going. They're trying to bring it into the middle. Little bit of battling up there as it's going to be awarded to Oswego after Rowe was chasing it down for Geneseo. Now streaking down the field is McNally. McNally's got some speed. She's going to try to drop back real quick, do a quick start-stop, get some separation. Whistle blown, but they keep it. McNally looking for a player in front, trying to find Redmond. Couldn't find Redmond in front as she takes a stick to the arm. And this one's going to be brought in by Shields. Shields tries to lift that one up, but it's taken by Simser. Simser moving towards the net. Going to be stopped, and it's going to be a shot opportunity for the Lakers now.
This is their opportunity to get on the board after Katarina Clare got 1 point for the Geneseo Knights.
And Claire with the goal for Geneseo. Only the first goal, or the only goal so far in this contest. But we'll have to wait and see if that changes as Oswego's lining up right now down in the Geneseo zone. They're going to move it up. And a big shot coming from number 10, Darcy, but that one gets kick-saved away by Schaefer. But Oswego turns it back into their possession in midfield, keeps going down. Before Geneseo regains possession, crossing over into Oswego's zone. Lewis trying to find somebody in front. She does. She finds Rowe. Rowe coming down, trying to find some moves to get open. But Oswego shuts her down there. But it will remain in Geneseo possession. As Geneseo's now going to have a shot opportunity with 1:31 left to go in this first period. So, about a period down, Jolie, what have you noticed so far in this game? What are some of your key takeaways?
I'm noticing a lot of the players are very involved in this game. You know, every player has done something on this field. Nobody's just there. And I've seen that in some games before, but not this one. I feel like everybody's an active member. Everybody's screaming, calling for the ball. Everybody's shooting, too. I think that's great that they're really going for the possession and also taking the shots. You know, you're not going to get a goal without a shot.
No, exactly. And another big save from Phillips right there. Phillips playing on top of her head right now. I mean, she's got about 5 saves into this game already, given up 1 goal, but she's been peppered. So her save percentage is looking quite good right now, despite having 1 goal against her.
Yeah, Kai Phillips from Sydney, New York, just actually graduated. So that's actually amazing to see that there's such great potential on the field hockey team, you know, with some seniors leaving in the next coming year. So it's always good to see the program bringing in good recruits.
And like you said, from Sydney, New York, a greater Binghamton area school right there. And one of the things that the greater Binghamton area is known for is its excellent field hockey programs, especially within high school. Whitney Point, year in, year out, is always the #1 team in the state out of Whitney Point, New York. And for a while, they were even ranked the best team in the nation in high school for a year or two. And
that's amazing. And
many state championships in the area, Vestal, Golden Bears, a lot of them. And you see, if you take a look at the Oswego roster, a lot of players end up coming from those schools or areas around Binghamton. Field hockey's really grown a lot down there.
Yeah.
And you've kind of seen it translate in college as you see a lot of athletes across all Oswego sports, a lot of them coming from that southern tier Binghamton area.
That's really good to know, you know, with all those recruits from there. I think that it brings even more incentive to go watch these games and see where these players are coming from. And if you're in the area, you know, you definitely check out those teams, especially Sydney High School.
And we are 1 quarter down out of 4 here at Oswego State Laker Turf Stadium. The Geneseo Knights lead the Lakers 1-0. And going into the second quarter, Oswego playing well. Although it is a 1-0 game, this has been a very, very evenly matched game, Jolie. I would say it's very back and forth. It's not one team dominating the other. They're going down to Geneseo's end. As soon as they get down there, Geneseo comes to their end, and it's just flip-flopping back and forth.
Right. I totally agree with that. There's a lot of back and forth. It's not like one team is dominating the other. I know there is 1 point on the board, but, you know, the rest of the game still has to be played. And, you know, I know we were talking about some good stats of these players. I know that the first goal, actually, that was scored by Katarina Clare on Geneseo Knights came from Barker High School, and there are some great stats from there. She finished her distinguished field hockey career at Barker, playing 96 games with 72 goals, 31 assists for 175 points. So that's some killer stats there.
Yeah,
especially
that's unreal.
Yeah, coming from the junior varsity when she was in 7th grade, and then was moved up to varsity in 8th grade. So playing those 4 years, 5 years actually on varsity, really good statistics for her. And she's been an asset to the game, but also to the team.
I mean, if you in any sport you play, other than basketball, maybe, because the point system's a bit different in basketball than the majority of sports.
For sure, yeah.
But in the majority of sports, if you can have more points than you have games in your career, you are a standout player.
That's great, yeah. And I feel like we could say that for a lot of the players out there right now. Coming from schools like you were talking about that are recognized for field hockey, you're playing constantly. You're playing those games, so it's good to have that out there, that talent, and watching it right now. We have a pretty nice crowd here for today's game. I'm glad it stopped raining on them, and the clouds are kind of clearing up a little bit.
Yeah, without a doubt. Definitely the rain going away has had a huge benefit to both teams. As if it was raining out right now, I don't know if it's as close and as fierce of a game as it is right now.
Right, yeah.
But nonetheless, it is still freezing cold out there.
Yeah.
But like you said, we got breast cancer awareness game here today, and a decent turnout in the stands despite it being cold and rainy. The Laker faithful always make their rounds and their due diligence to show up to games.
Yes, it's really nice to see. It's good that we have presence at all types of games, because these players are out here working so hard, and it's just really important to be watching the players that put so much time into the sport they love.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And a whistle blown there. It's going to be possession goes to Oswego. Moving it up is Darcy. And poking it around is Kazel. Trying to get up there, but it's intercepted by Geneseo.
Yeah, Kazel is being very aggressive out there. That's really the mentality and the energy that you should be having when playing sports like this. But she's after every ball. She's not letting something get by her, and I think that's really good to have her in that spot as the forward.
And Oswego takes possession of the ball at midfield. Moving it down, passing into Geneseo's zone. Moving with some speed. This might be an opportunity for the Lakers. They get stopped at the very last second. And we wait to see what comes out of this, if it will be. And it will be a shot opportunity for the Lakers now, as Schaefer with a save or two of her own so far in this game. Phillips, as we've mentioned, playing outstanding with a good amount of saves so far just in this game alone, as Pagliaroli is going to send it out. That one's going to go up to Schaefer.
I think they're going to take this opportunity.
Try to take the shot, try to bat it out of the air, and a save from Geneseo. But it's going to go right back to where it was. Playing a little bit of baseball out there, Jolie, hitting it out of the midair.
Yeah, I mean, I love baseball, but is that the season right now?
I mean, it is playoffs, right?
Yeah. It doesn't feel like baseball weather anymore.
No, it does not.
Nope.
And there's no baseball in New York anyways.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, gosh. Garrett Chan would be sad.
As an opportunity right there from Kazel. Great chance, just blocked away by Schaefer. A really good save there, getting the glove on it, able to push it out of bounds. Oswego will remain in possession as it did go out of bounds, but it's not a free shot opportunity this time. They're going to have to find a way to slide through the defense for that. Throwing it in front, and an opportunity there goes into the back of the net, but it was blown dead just before then.
Wow. The Lakers keep missing it just by an inch, so I hope that doesn't get them frustrated, but, it's understandable in that sense.
I mean, we mentioned earlier in the soccer game earlier today how many sports are a game of inches, and like you just brought up right there, Jolie, I mean, all it is just an inch away from being able to get that shot off, bury it in the back of the net, or an inch away from if you hit it an inch lower, maybe it misses the goalie's glove on there. It doesn't reflect out of bounds.
Right, right.
But that's the beauty of the sports. All the what ifs.
What could have been, right? Yeah, that's so true, though. And Geneseo is back in possession.
And a weird little punch pass there. Mm-hmm. As Oswego's moving up with some momentum. Jordan has it now. And they're going to give possession to Oswego. Stopped them enough to turn the ball over. And trying to find over to Kazel. She's going to battle for it. She's right there. Geneseo trying to put it through her legs. And it's going to be Geneseo still. They're going to replace the ball and move forward from there on out. As about 5 minutes are down in the game here at Laker Turf Stadium. 10:35 left to go. And that one's going to be shot up the field. Geneseo now coming down with a little bit of speed. Claire, who already has a goal today, moving in. Geneseo opportunity.
Just missed it.
Grieco had a great chance there. Just misses it. And an even better pass from Claire, who is the lone goal scorer so far in this game.
Yeah, no, when it comes down to each of these games, it's really about who's moving fast with their speed, who's able to get around the ball and block the other player. That defense is so crucial. So Lakers played good with that to get Grieco out of that scoring opportunity there. And now the Lakers are actually going to have the ball again and try and work their way up the line to hopefully get their first score of the game.
As that ball goes off the ankle of number 13, Landers, for the Geneseo Knights. And Geneseo, a little bit of contact there coming in from Kazel, so it's going to go to Geneseo.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like Hazel really has that aggression to get the ball right now, and it might continue, but it could play against her, so there's a lot of that goes into it. You want to be aggressive, but not too aggressive in the sense where you get penalties or the ball's against you.
Without a doubt. As a smart play there from Oswego, just tiptoeing the line, letting the ball roll out so they get possession rather than trying to do too much with it.
Yeah.
But it goes out of bounds there on Oswego's behalf, so Geneseo gets the ball on Oswego's side. And they're going to come in. They're going to try to shoot it down field a little bit more. Whistle blown. Still Geneseo possession. They're going to wind up shoot that one. That one goes off the pad of Phillips. Routine save for Phillips there. But another opportunity. Oswego, good defense to come back and stop that shot from getting off. Great shot opportunity. Just able to get the stick in front and limit the ability to get a shot off there, as Oswego's now going to get possession of the ball. Darcy's going to be bringing it up. And Darcy flicks that one around, but Geneseo regains possession. Now Geneseo's got a 2-on-4. And Claire's going to come in, and Claire gets her second goal of the game now on a shot from about the top of the crease. Right up at the top of that blue crease. Able to get her second goal of the game. Claire absolutely rocketing shots off from all over the field. That was a nice shot, Jolie. Just great power and great possession.
100%. I mean, where she went to school, at least in high school, Barker High School, they called her the hardest working student athlete. And I don't know, this is kind of feeling like they're proving what's right now, because she's working her butt off out there. So I just am really, it's really fun to watch players like this when you thrive off on the field and off. It definitely should be applauded.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you don't get nicknames for no reason. They always have truth behind them. And I mean, hardest working student athlete is, I'd say that's a pretty good name to have under your belt.
Yeah. There's so many great things that come with being a student athlete, like the fact that you're able to do your schoolwork and still have this lifestyle. It's really amazing.
Nothing better than being able to play the sport you love while still being a stellar student as well.
For sure.
As Oswego now intercepts that one in Geneseo's zone. They're coming down with an opportunity, not able to get it past the defense. Geneseo's going to keep poking it out. They're going to get it up. They got some space along the center field. Going to throw it up the middle to who else but Claire. Claire's going to toss it in the corner, but can Geneseo get there before it gets out? Just going to be a bit too far, not able to stop it.
Yeah. There's a lot that goes into this game right now with the weather. It is clearing up, so that's a little better. But, I hope this isn't diminishing like the energy on the team for the Lakers. Really taking advantage of all the shots. I feel like they're slowing down a little bit right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're not playing as much in Geneseo's zone as we saw in that first quarter right there. That's a good point. And we're seeing Geneseo getting some more shots off, and they're a little more play as a cross-crease opportunity there, but a good defense from Oswego shuts that opportunity down as chasing that one out of bounds is Flume. Geneseo trying to cut back into that middle part of the field. Can't do so because Oswego got sticks in the way and knock it down. Despite there being 2 goals, though, I mean, Oswego's defense is looking good. That second goal by Claire, there was no chance to stop that. She just, on a dime, turned around and whipped it into the back of the net. There's only so much the defense can do in that situation.
Yeah, got to give credit where credit's due, and then see what you could do after that.
Exactly.
And I think that's what the Lakers are trying to do right now. Yeah, in the second period, and down by 2 with 5 minutes left.
It's not about what happens; it's about how you respond to what happens. And now Oswego with the ball in their own zone, trying to get it across midfield as they're slowly moving it up. Few passes, few redirections that's able to get it past there. And now Oswego moving with some speed, try to headman it through an opening, but not able to do so as Geneseo was there to shut it down. Now Schaefer with it. Schaefer looking up the field, trying to find Curris. And this is going to be a battle at center field between Darcy and a Geneseo player. And coming off the field is Simser. She's going to have a replacement in number 14, Shields. And Geneseo is going to get the ball on the far side of the pitch. And now a big wind up there trying to get something going was Geneseo. And it trickles out to an Oswego stick where they are now going to try to move it back up the field. A little bit of battling in the middle between a few Oswego players and Geneseo. But another opportunity there just stopped dead by Oswego. And still seeing some issues with the turf maybe being a little wet. Still seeing the sticks dig in a little bit at some times. But it's also, as the game has gone on, we've seen it decrease quite a bit as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think that the players are playing really good despite the conditions. I know that it's still very windy. I see hats kind of flying a little bit down there. But, yeah, like, when you're playing in these conditions, you feel everything in the moment. But I think they're so immersed in what they're doing right now with 3 minutes left, at least the Lakers down by 2. I think they're in it so much that sometimes they might not even notice it at this point. They're getting used to it. So that's also good.
Yeah, the definition of you get locked in and nothing else matters except for the game that you are playing right in front of you. And we may be seeing that from this Lakers team as they have been playing very well despite being down by 2 goals. It's been a very, very back-and-forth game. Geneseo still peppering on a lot more shots. They do have a lot more shot opportunities than the Lakers have had. But the Lakers have had some quality chances as well, as that one's going to be stripped away by Grieco. Grieco's going to push down that right side of the field. He's going to stop, turn, wait, look for some openings. Just trying to find open players now, as that one's going to go back down to Grieco. Grieco's going to try to get it into the middle. She was trying to connect with Olzak. Wasn't able to do so, so it's picked up by Shilaki.
I'm wondering if they're going to keep feeding, if we're going to keep feeding Claire, because, I mean, if she's getting 2 by now, I don't know. That's usually when you would, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, you get 2 goals. It's the infamous hat trick that's looming over your head. You're kind of sitting there, you're waiting, you're anticipating it. You may not come out and be like, yeah, no, and say I want the hat trick. But once as soon as you hit that 2-goal mark, any athlete has inside them, they want that hat trick. Mm-hmm. And when you have the hot hand, why would you not feed the hot hand?
Exactly, yeah. So I see that we're been a lot more in Geneseo's area, or should I say Lakers' goal, that it feels like they're really pushing, that Geneseo is dominating a lot more of this game. And that was a very close goal for Geneseo Knights there, but it missed it. So we're going to give possession now to the Lakers. Going to see if they can move it up. Molly Darcy with kind of a hit that hit the floor before it hit really the ball. And again, and they're fighting over this until it could really get up the field. No, it doesn't seem like much Lakers are open for the ball right now.
As they're trying to get it over to Jordan, but it's intercepted in the middle part. And you also have to remember just how small those sticks really are. I mean,
yeah.
They, from afar, it looks almost essentially like a golf club, more or less.
Yeah,
so
it's just a hook.
No, it really is. So the things they're able to do with that and get elevation on their shots or keep it low and just fast along the ground, it really is quite amazing. And for those who may not know, fun fact, you cannot use the backhand of the stick in field hockey. You can only use the forehand.
I did not know that because I only played field hockey for a day, but I think that is really interesting that you can't use the back. That I feel like that's important if you could. Like, I feel like that would be a game changer. But, it makes sense. It makes the game harder for both sides. It's good.
Yeah, but now you mentioned that you played field hockey for a whole day, Jolie. Now you opened up that can of worms. We have to dig into the Jolie Santiago field hockey lore. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay, yeah. So I played field hockey for one day in gym class at my middle school. My middle school, MacArthur Bar in Nanuet, New York. Which actually Molly Darcy, who's out there on the field right now playing for Suny Oswego Lakers, we were in that same class together, and that's where we both discovered field hockey. But I did not stick with it. She obviously did. She's out here right now. Very proud of her. But no, that was not a good time for me, at least.
Hey, to each their own, right?
Right.
Hey, it all works out in the end. She's on the field. You're up in the broadcast booth.
Yeah,
so.
we're forming something cool over here now.
Life works in mysterious ways.
It sure does, yeah.
But after 2 periods of play, the Oswego State Lakers trailed the Geneseo Knights 2-0 off of 2 goals from Claire on the Geneseo Knights. Looking for the hat trick coming into the second half of this game. The star student athlete of Barker putting on a performance, but nonetheless, Oswego playing very well in their own right, having some good shot opportunities that have just been shut down by Schaefer. A huge glove save in that first quarter. And on the other hand, Oswego's defense is looking good. It's just been a few bad bounces that haven't gone their way.
Mm-hmm. Just making those connections to try and play ahead, maybe 3 steps ahead of Geneseo right now, because they're at 2 and Oswego's at 0. So let's see what happens after the half.
Yeah, we'll have to wait. So we're going to kick it over to a break for the halftime. When we come back, we will have the second half of action between the Oswego State Lakers and the Geneseo Knights here at Laker Turf Stadium. 2-0, Geneseo leads. You're watching field hockey on WTOP 10. Back to Laker Turf Stadium here in Oswego, New York, as we get ready for quarter 3 action here against Oswego State and the Geneseo Knights. 2-0 going into the second half. Lakers with some good shot opportunities, but there was a few times that just weren't able to get past Schaefer in net. And on the other side, Phillips really playing on her head in that. 2 goals from Claire that were just rockets that couldn't be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, Claire is just a great player, so to kind of defend her ball, it's a hard one. But Phillips is really keeping up with the other players that have shot on goal. So those haven't been goals, but, you know, there's a lot of the game left. 2 more quarters. Lakers can score with the next opportunities that they get, or Geneseo will just keep going because Geneseo seems to be on fire, but especially Claire. Like we said, she's been having some stats in her field hockey career that just are amazing, and you have to applaud.
Without a doubt. I mean, having honors like that and then coming in and just scoring 2 goals in any game in any sport, if you can do that, that's outstanding. But to do it especially at a college Division III level, that really displays how good of a player you are.
Yeah, and I think they're going to keep feeding her the ball, so let's look out for that. But
as Claire with another shot there and 2 knockaway saves from Phillips as Flume gives Phillips a high five right there. I mean, 2 back-to-back shots, just one right off the pad, goes up in the air. They try to swat it down in, and then she uses the blocker to swat down after that. I mean, just a really great goaltending right there from Phillips.
For sure, yeah. Phillips is playing a great game, and the rest of Lakers are really trying to piece together the piece of the puzzle that might be lacking. And what do you think is lacking, Kyle?
I think they just got to get more shots, Jolie. I mean, they're trying because the defense for Geneseo has just been really dominant so far. They haven't allowed too many opportunities to get down in their own zone. But if the Lakers can get a few more shots on, one's bound to go in because they are playing an outstanding game so far. As moving down the field is McNally. McNally coming down with some speed. She's looking across the field, trying to find Kazel coming down in the middle. Wasn't able to connect on it, as that one's going to go out of bounds off the stick of Claire. So Oswego is going to take possession of it there. Darcy getting ready to send this one off. She's going to flip it up high right over to McNally. McNally trying to get inside the crease, but the whistle's going to be blown.
So McNally went to Hillburn to the high school in Suffern High School. That's actually a high school that's near my hometown as well. So it's very nice to see, again, another hometown hero out here on at Laker Turf. Now, McNally is really putting in some, the speed right now is great, and just continuing to push the team. I feel like everybody on this team right now is really going for it, and that's really awesome to see. It's a good game to watch. It
has been. It's been very back and forth despite the score being a slight Geneseo lead with 2 goals, as Claire put that one out of bounds, so Oswego gets it once more, as setting it up the field is Darcy. Trying to get it over to Jordan, couldn't do so, gets intercepted by Geneseo at midfield. And it's going to remain Geneseo ball. Now moving down the field is Geneseo, as they're down in that corner. They're battling against Oswego, trying to get possession. A nice little spin move from Geneseo, slowly gaining territory in that corner there. As it gets popped out a little bit, Rowe with a chance. Rowe trying to find something to do. Couldn't really do much. Gets locked up by Oswego's defense, but it's going to be a shot opportunity now for for Geneseo against the Lakers, as Phillips is going to have to make a statement in that once more here. You can only imagine that they're looking for Claire out there right now.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you'll see Claire over on the left side.
She's on the far left side looking for the cross crease, but they elect to go up the middle instead.
Number number 10 is really there to defend, though, for the Lakers.
Yeah, Darcy's defense was fantastic there, just locking down the front of that net. As Oswego has the ball now, trying to get it across midfield, but Geneseo once more stops it right at center field. Throwing it down in is Cunningham. And Cunningham gets it a row. She nutmegs someone. She's coming in, and they're going to give possession to Oswego. But the through the legs move there, Jolie, I mean, that was a very nice move.
Yeah, it's nice to see different plays, too, kind of changing things up. It's different than what we've been seeing during the duration of this game. So I think it's really nice that we can see different plays being made and really seeing what they have on their resume in terms of different shots.
And it's going to continue to be Oswego ball as they are driving down in. And Simser's gonna take the ball. Gonna throw it in front of the net. Oswego with an opportunity here, trying to get a shot off, but it's gonna go out of bounds off the stick of a Geneseo player. As Oswego's gonna get the ball back up at the point, Schaefer with the ball.
Geneseo is trying to make its way, but Darcy was there to keep it back.
Yeah, Darcy keeps that one in play. Keeping it down in the Geneseo zone as they're trying to move it up now, but it's intercepted by Oswego again, by who else but Darcy. Having a huge string of plays on this drive. Missed shot on that one, but no harm is done as Oswego keeps possession of the ball. Simser with it now, and right in front of the net, a shot opportunity, kick saved away by Schaefer off a shot from Kazel.
And you hear the crowd really getting excited about that. I think that they're really here rooting for the Lakers.
Yeah, and that was the first shot that the Lakers have had since the turn of the half. Got to pepper on some more shots to try to find the back of the net, as they do have to make up a 2-goal deficit. As sprinting up the field is Geneseo. Geneseo coming up with some wheels right now. Lewis with it, trying to get it up to Rowe, and she will get it up to Rowe. If she can keep it in bounds, she will. Just by a hair, but she manages to keep it in play. Rowe battling for it in the corner, and they're going to elect to give the ball to Oswego. So Schaefer's going to take it down from Oswego's zone. She's going to place it, get ready to start up the play again. With 8:30 left to go in quarter number 3.
Schaefer's been a big part of this team since 2020 when she first joined as a freshman. There's so many stats for her. But this season's high, 4 shots just at that last game with Suny Morrisville. That's really good to see a player having such high stats in one of the first months of playing.
Yeah, and in that Morrisville game, I mean, we mentioned earlier, it was a 12-0 win for the Lakers, and to put on that kind of offensive onslaught, that just really displays the potential this team does have. I mean, facing a bit tougher of a defensive opponent in Geneseo than Morrisville, as Geneseo also put up a very big win against Morrisville a few weeks ago. But nonetheless, either way, I mean, if you put up 12 goals in any game, that shows that you have a very, very prominent offense. Oswego's just got to find a way to get the shots off. They have really good shooters. They have good goal scorers on this team. They're just not able to get into the zones where they need to get to actually get the shots off of. When they are trying to shoot, there's too many sticks from Geneseo in the way.
Yeah, and Oswego's played just 2 more games than Geneseo has. I mean, with their record, Oswego's had 4 losses, 4 wins, my apologies, and 8 losses, while Geneseo's won 6 of their games and lost 4. So you just have to think of maybe they went against in terms of Geneseo's competition was a little different than Oswego's, but it really it evens out there. So
yeah, it
really
does.
Curious what changes need to be made for Oswego Lakers when they're going against Geneseo right now.
Yeah, very evenly matched teams, as we mentioned earlier. Probably the hardest test Geneseo has seen so far this year was taking on the number 4 team in the nation in Salisbury College down in Maryland. And traveling down to Maryland, probably safe to say a little nicer weather down near about 40 minutes outside of Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah.
I would say the weather in Salisbury is a slight bit better than up here in Oswego right now.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. A little bit warmer, a little bit more beach. But nonetheless, Oswego still playing great defense right now, locking down Geneseo as that one's going to get blown dead. It goes off the shin of McNally. So Geneseo remains in possession of the ball. They're going to pass it back over along the defense, trying to split through Oswego players. There's about 5 Oswego players and 1 Geneseo player. No, not much hope in getting through there. As coming up now is Cunningham. Cunningham's doing a couple spin moves. Spinorama. Now Oswego trying to move it up, stopped by Hernick. But Oswego's going to keep possession of it as Darcy moves it up the field. And it's going to be kept going by McNally. McNally's going to try to whack that one. Just gets by one player, doesn't get by the second Geneseo player, though. But it doesn't matter because McNally still has the ball before it's turned back over to Geneseo as they're trying to move up the field now. It's going to go up to Grieco. Bringing it up the field now. Geneseo got some speed, and they have some numbers with them. Olzak sends it over to the other side. Sends it back up to Olzak. That one gets past Oswego. She's going to battle for it. Manages to get it back from Oswego. Olzak right along that goal line. Gets it back in front, and it's going to be a shot opportunity. As Geneseo gets in their huddle, talk about plans on what they want to do. If you're Geneseo, what do you do here, Jolie?
That's a great question. I think it's really what they did before, except avoid Darcy at all costs at this point, because she will defend the ball and make sure it does not get anywhere near the goal. However, they might switch it up now, but you never know. You never know in situations like this. So I think she might be putting it far right, though.
Yeah, Darcy playing fantastic defense as they're going to throw it up the middle.
Up the middle, yeah.
And that one gets ramped up and over.
Yeah.
A little bit of skateboard-like.
And Simser came in through the middle to defend. So that was a great defense mechanism there to avoid the ball going anywhere near that net except for up and away.
As Cunningham now has it up at the point. Going to get it down a little bit further back to Cunningham on the wing. Going down, and who else but Darcy with another defensive stop. She has been all over on defense.
I saw Simser kind of avoid the ball hitting her shins for a second because it really looked like it skid her for a moment there, but that ball hurts. Yeah, I don't want that ball near me.
I was say those shin pads come in handy.
Yeah.
There's a reason the goalies are wearing the amount of padding that they are.
Mm-hmm.
And now coming up is Beauchat, and it's going to be locked down on the ground, but Simser is going to pick it back up now, and Simser is going to try to rock it in front. And a little bit too far out as Geneseo is going to gain possession of the ball. They bring it up a little bit. They place it as they get ready to send it off. And not effective as Simser has it again before it's turned back over, but they're going to give it right back to Oswego. Must have hit somebody. And Darcy with it now. Darcy's going to drop it off. They're trying to get some tic-tac-toe passing going, but it's just not connecting all of the dots quite yet. Two totally different childhood games I just compared with one another, but hey, it's the thought that counts.
We're talking about Simser a lot. Simser was Defensive Athlete of the Week last year around this time, and it's awesome to see such Lakers having great recognition. There's a lot of SUNYAC honors for these teams that we have at Suny Oswego, so that's definitely congratulations in order. But that's just not the only thing that they've been doing great at. Even Simser in 2023 this year just had SUNY Scholar Athlete of the Year award. So it's really great to see such accomplishments be given.
as there's going to be another shot opportunity. Jolie, so the Oswego hasn't had too many shot opportunities, and this is a prime one right here. Who should they get the ball to here?
Ooh, Simpson's open right there, but that was too late because we had a Geneseo rush in and take every opportunity from the Lakers, so they were not able to make it happen.
Yeah, Darcy with a chance just flew it right over, as who else but Claire has it, and they're going to give a shot to Geneseo now after Claire gets pushed down to the ground on a breakaway opportunity. Smart play by Oswego when you have the top goal scorer on this Geneseo team and the top player of this game scoring-wise, the only scoring player of this game, coming down on a 1-on-0 opportunity against your goalie. Mm-hmm. Take the opportunity to smart play, not necessarily great to get a penalty, but in that situation, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Just get the play stopped, regroup, and find a way to do it.
Think of it that way, yeah.
And a huge stop there, once again from Phillips. Another stop,
yeah.
2 stops, make it 3, as Oswego with 3 big stops in a row off of some very, very, very quality shots from Geneseo, keeping it going. And they're going to blow the whistle, and it looks like it's going to be another shot opportunity for Geneseo after they just got 3 off, but Phillips denies every single one of them.
Yeah, Geneseo is really being given an upper hand in this with the score right now, but also with the opportunities that they're given to get some goals.
As this one's going to come up to the top, bringing it over the side, winds up, and that one's going to go off the pad of Phillips and go wide. Another save for Phillips on the night. 1:24 left to go in quarter number 3. Geneseo still going to remain in possession of it because it did go out of bounds off of Oswego. Mm-hmm. And a whiffed shot there leads to a turnover. And Oswego now with the ball, trying to bring it up the right side. Haven't seen them attack the right side very much in this game. They've been bringing it very much on the near side, not so much far side.
Yeah, and a lot through the middle. A lot has been up the middle for a while now. Yeah, the wings aren't really being utilized as much as maybe they could be. And that could be just how they're playing today against Geneseo or how they've been playing in the past.
And making their first appearance of the game here today is number 7, Baver, for the Oswego State Lakers. Getting some reps in. Oswego maybe trying to change some things up. Get some offense going, change up the lines a little bit. As that one's going to go over the stick of Baver into the Geneseo zone. And Geneseo is not going to be able to get it out as Oswego maintains possession. Waiting to see what all works out. Schaefer trying to get a pass down the far side, but it's turned right back around. 5 seconds left. Not much is going to happen in the remainder of this quarter as the third quarter's buzzer blows. Still a 2-0 game. No changes in scoring in the third quarter. Really back and forth play. We saw great defensive play from Oswego, especially from the goaltending in Phillips. I mean, Phillips just lights out in that. You can't ask for a better performance than that.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many elements that go into playing a good game, and I think that Lakers are really trying hard out there. It's just making those connections to get those shots and goals. But Geneseo is really just putting up a wall. Like, I think that they're just playing really good right now. And you have to look at it like who's playing the game better, and right now I would say it's Geneseo.
Yeah, it's an even matchup. Don't get me wrong. Like you said, it is an even matchup, but I think Geneseo's just playing the slightest bit smarter or the slightest bit better, where that has allowed that 2-0 lead because they've been able to get inside of the defense. And I think that's been the biggest difference between is Geneseo has gotten shot opportunities right in front of the goalie, right in front of the net. Oswego hasn't. When Oswego gets in that zone, they're not able to get the shot off. It's either blown dead, given away to Geneseo, or the shots are redirecting off the sticks of Geneseo players. On the flip side, though, when Oswego gets down in that zone, or when Geneseo gets down in Oswego zone like that, we're seeing Phillips have to make 3-4 different saves.
Yeah, and I think that with all of this that's going on and the weather and all of this with just one quarter left, what we really need to see right now is Lakers putting it all on the line. At the end of the day, it's a quarter left. What they can do right now will determine this game. And it's important to come out strong from the beginning to the end. So for the next 15 minutes, the Lakers really have to give it their all, a little more than what they've been giving this past 3 quarters.
And like you mentioned, 15 minutes left to play here at Laker Turf Stadium for all contests of the day. As earlier today, the Oneonta State Dragons knocked down Oswego Lakers men's soccer by a score of 4-1. The one goal from Oswego coming from a free kick from Rivera. And now the Lakers find themselves down 2-0 here in field hockey against the Geneseo Knights as 15 minutes left to play in the match. And we kick things off with Oswego getting possession of the ball at midfield.
Cold day, cold weather in general. And this is after a couple of days of nice weather, 80 degrees, by the way, in Oswego. But now they want to drop to 50, and everybody's confused. So, but they have a lot of fans here supporting and coming out to cheer. And it's just about what will happen in this quarter that will determine the game.
Yeah, like you said, 2 days ago, we saw everyone out in T-shirts and shorts sweating because of the heat. And now the blankets and jackets are in full effect at Laker Turf Stadium, except for the players, of course, who I imagine got to be quite cold. As coming down the side is Claire. Claire tries to get it back in front, but Oswego is going to be able to get possession of that as Pagliaroli is now trying to send it up. She is going to send it up across midfield, clears the zone. Gains a little bit of time for the Lakers to try to regroup, get upfield a little bit more, and find a game plan. As the Lakers try to go down the field and get something set up. They haven't been able to set up very many pass plays or anything within Geneseo's zone. The defense has kind of taken away a lot of the passing lanes that the Lakers have been searching for. But nonetheless, we see an opportunity like that right in front for Rowe. I mean, good defense from Oswego to stop once the ball got to her, or Grieco, once the ball got to Grieco. But the difference between Oswego's defense and Geneseo's defense is in situations like that, the ball's not even getting to an Oswego player when Geneseo's on defense.
Yeah, and that's really hard and frustrating for the whole team, you know, to constantly have to deal with that misconnection because you're really trying, you're putting it all out, but it's like they go kind of unused because it really doesn't work out at the end of the day. So I know that could be frustrating as a player, but there's so many close opportunities, and Oswego keeps putting it, trying to keep it away, and it just keeps coming back. Right now, it's going to be a side wing, number 5, forward and midfielder Pagliaroli is going to try and get that. She came in the game not too long ago. Actually, she started and then came back in. And, you know, it's also nice to mention that the men's basketball team is here to help out with giving the balls to the players while they're playing in between out-of-bounds balls go out. Yeah. And Molly Darcy is now going to put the ball for the Lakers in their possession.
And she's going to lift that one up high,
Yeah.
up to Pagliaroli. But it's going to be turned over to Geneseo, as Geneseo is now trying to slice through the Oswego defense, get down in the zone a bit more. Ball is stopped, but remains in Geneseo possession, as they're going to throw it down a little bit further. Grieco with it now. As
Geneseo player right there is being guarded by 4 Oswego players to make sure they don't get through.
And still managing to get through, even
Yeah.
despite the 4, is Grieco. before it's turned over to Oswego. But I mean, it took 4 different Oswego players to shut down Grieco alone.
Yeah, that just shows the strength and power behind the players out there right now, like Grieco and Claire.
Speaking of Claire with the ball in center field. She's going to take a shot, and that one's blocked by Phillips. It's about Phillips' 5th block in the last 3 minutes. Still getting peppered in that, but she's standing tall and making the big saves when she needs to make them. So huge respect and props to Phillips in that, as she has been doing an outstanding job. On the other end, Schaefer hasn't faced too many shots, but the few shots she has faced put up very nice saves.
Yes, for sure. I noticed Jordan is trying to get it out of the goalkeeper's area as much as possible, trying to move it forward, as she is the forward for the team, number 2. But really, I think the Lakers really need to move it away from Phillips as much as possible right now, because the Geneseo Knights are really looking to make it 3-0.
Without a doubt. As it finds the back of the net, but it's no goal. It's going to bring it up to the top of the crease. And Geneseo's going to send that one out. Trying to get it across midfield. They will get it across midfield. Looking for Claire in center field. She's going to get around. She's got some speed coming down. She's got a player with her. Claire coming down. She's going to wind up, take a shot, and a huge save from Phillips.
Wow.
Kicked away out of bounds on the far sideline. And what a huge save from Phillips there.
Claire had time to think about that ball and how she wanted to place it. She was there and ready for it, but Phillips just came in and made sure that did not get anywhere past the line. That was a really good save by Phillips because Claire was ready to put that in.
And that would have been a hat trick for Claire if she was able to knock that into the back of the cage. But like we said, Phillips comes up standing tall. A lot of really huge saves, putting really the defense of this team on her back in a way, as Claire shoots again, almost finds number 3 again. It just misses the post by a few inches.
Notice how Claire is so close to the goalie. It's like she is trying to guard the goalie, and that's where we need players like Simser to really be on top of Claire in those instances, because she's coming for where the goalie is in every spot near it.
Without a doubt, getting that net front presence, both for the reason of the rebound control, you have a much higher chance of getting a rebound if you're right in front of the goalie. But other than that, too, just taking away the sight of the goalie, taking away their visibility is huge. If the goalie can't see the ball, it makes it 30 times harder to make a save.
Yes, and it's already kind of tough out there as it is, like with having all that gear on you. But the small ball, it's a lot of elements that make it hard. So if you can make it harder on the opposing goalie, then do it. And Claire seems to be doing that right now.
Yeah, doing it quite well. I mean, Claire's gone in front of the goalie twice for 2 goals and about 4 or 5 different shot opportunities alone.
So close, too.
As Oswego's now moving up with some speed, but a huge stop from Rowe there. Really killed the momentum of the Lakers on that drive there. And a shot opportunity, but it's kicked away by Schaefer. Coming decently far out of her way to do that, to kick that one away. As now Darcy's along the sideline. She's going to throw it down in towards McNally.
Yeah, Hernick made sure to get that ball out of the goalie, out of the goalie's sight, so that the goalie wasn't flustered to see where it went, and then potentially be another opportunity for the Lakers. But the Lakers are trying to take the opportunities where they can. Like right now, Darcy.
It seems like a lot of the shots that they're really winding up on, it seems like they're almost getting too much of the turf behind it. Almost like in a sense of taking a golf shot. When you're hitting too much dirt behind the ball, it's losing a lot of speed on it. It's losing a lot of, if you want airtime on it, it's losing a lot of the flight trajectory of the ball. As Oswego with an opportunity down here, but they're going to be pushed out. It's going to be a shot opportunity for the Lakers now. But going back to that point, when they're getting too much of the turf behind it, it's losing a lot of speed and accuracy on the ball. So if they can just fix that a slight bit, just hit a little less of the turf, hit more of the ball, get more of a solid contact right in the middle of it, it's going to have a lot more speed and a lot more chance of finding the back of the cage.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that aspect of the game too.
As Pagliaroli throws it up to the top, it's going to go up across to McNally. McNally with a shot, and it's stopped by Schaefer. McNally with another chance, still fighting, and a shot opportunity from Pagliaroli, but once again, pads to Schaefer and away. Schaefer racking up some saves now here in the last couple of minutes. Not necessarily highlight reel saves, but regardless, a save's a save on the stat sheet. She's keeping the ball out of the net, which is her job as the goalie. So can't really ask for a better performance of Schaefer. It's not any big saves like Phillips has had, but sometimes you don't want those big saves because you will take routine, safe, solid play over flashy play any day.
And with those saves, though, means that Lakers are shooting. They're shooting the ball and trying to get up on the board. So with that, it's like, yes, the goalie has to defend, but that means that the Lakers are actually putting in something that they have to defend.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the shot total for the Lakers a lot higher this quarter than we've seen in previous.
Yeah.
Getting a lot more opportunities, especially in close, too. They're having in-close opportunities, which is important because shots from farther away are way easier to track, be prepared for. But if you're right there in on them, it's a lot harder for the goalie to react, as it is turf. You can't slide around on the ground like ice hockey, where you can go from post to post on the ground.
Yeah.
So if you can get those opportunities like right there where Geneseo just was, and you can shoot from there, you have a pretty good chance at finding an opening in it.
Yeah. 110%. I agree with that.
Moving it down a bit now is Geneseo. They're trying to find an opening in the middle, but Oswego's going to be able to clear it back to midfield. Get a little bit more time to regroup and figure out their plan of attack, as chasing into the corner is Jordan. This one's going to get sent too far. It's going to cross over the goal line. It's going to be Oswego possession as they roll the ball down. It's going to be taken out by Alvey. Alvey's going to pass it over along the sideline as they try to get it up to Jordan. Jordan's going to have to try to poke this one forward. Couldn't do so.
Really being aggressive right now is what the Oswego Lakers have to do.
Without a doubt, as Simser gets tied up there, it's going to get turned over to Geneseo. And a shot up the middle there. Simser with a few little touches on the ball there to keep it away from the Geneseo defense, as coming up the field now with some speed is Jordan. Jordan's going to throw it up. Bochat's coming down, but she gets beat out by a Geneseo player just by an inch. And they're going to whack it across up the middle to Cunningham before Pagliaroli presses up on Cunningham, but Cunningham's able to come out on top, gets past, and now coming down is Claire. Claire's going around the corner. Coming down that far sideline is Claire with some speed. Intercepted, though, by Darcy.
You saw Geneseo make 3 solid connections right there. That's a lot better than what we have seen a little bit before, but also Lakers aren't being able to connect like that. And I think that would really put the Lakers above Geneseo at this moment if they could make a couple connections like that.
Yeah, Geneseo with very smooth, crisp passes to one another, where it's not too far behind the player, it's not too far in front of them, it's not too fast, it's not too slow. They're hitting it just right with the passes. And that one's going to go out of bounds. Geneseo remains in possession of it. Rowe's going to take this one, elect what to do with it. She's going to decide to take it by herself before throwing it up the middle, trying to find a player there. Deflected by Oswego, so it's going to be a turnover, and Oswego now gets possession as Alvey is going to be the one who starts with it. She's going to run it down to the sideline a little bit. Passes it up to Pagliaroli. And goes off the shin of a Geneseo player. So it's going to stay Oswego possession as they keep going up. And Jordan now trying to do something with it there, trying to poke it around a Geneseo player, but turned over. As Simser is on the attack now. And Darcy with the poke check now. She frees it up and gets it across the center field line as about a minute and a half left to play in this contest between the Knights and the Lakers. Darcy throwing it up, trying to find Bochat. Couldn't connect on that, just a little too far out of reach. As Rowe tries bringing it up, and it's going to remain in her possession as it goes off the shin of an Oswego State Laker. And Rowe's just going to wind up and hit that one all the way down the field. It's going to cross the goal line as 1 minute remains in play for the Lakers and Geneseo here in the fourth quarter.
That was a lot of power behind that swing back there, so.
Yeah, sending it all the way down the field there.
She's back with the ball now.
And Rowe kind of just
put it through the legs.
A little bit of skill tricks now. Just
yeah.
We saw some stick handling there, and then the through the legs. As they're gonna now get it down to Claire. Claire's gonna do the same before they get it to Grieco, who's gonna do the same thing. Geneseo just trying to keep possession and drain as much of the clock as they can. So they get it back up to Rowe. Rowe with a good save to keep it in play there and keep draining out this clock. 10 seconds to go as Geneseo's just going to maintain possession and run out the rest of the clock in this game as the final buzzer sounds off and the Geneseo Knights defeat the Oswego State Lakers 2-0 here at Laker Turf Stadium in a very even matchup where both teams played very well. We saw it very back and forth up and down the field. Oswego had some really good opportunities, weren't able to capitalize on any of them, but Phillips really stood on her head, kept them in the game.
Yeah.
With the just slew of amazing saves she made.
Yeah, and those saves were, a lot of them were by Phillips just being on top of the ball rather than kind of being reactive to the ball, like really knowing, okay, it's going to go here, so I'm there. Phillips was really good with that. But I think Claire really came out on top with her goals, very trick shot-like, and they just went above and beyond with that. So the end score was 2-0 Geneseo.
Yeah, and like you said, Claire just had some extremely powerful shots that were able to find the back of the cage and just, whether it was misdirection, thinking it was going to go one way and then actually shooting it the other, using the power to just tuck it inside of the corner on the one goal that we saw in the second quarter. Mm-hmm. And then her opening quarter goal, just a good position for a rebound, just pokes it right in after. Barely crosses the net. I mean, it was about an inch over the line, but that inch over the line still counts as a goal. So that helped set the momentum for Geneseo. And from there, they never really let down from there. They kept the pressure on all game. They were aggressive both on offense and defense, collapsing in whenever somebody was in their goalie's crease, collapsing in, making sure no shots were getting off. And then after that, being able to spread the field and use their speed and accurate passes to just rush down the field and threaten Oswego's defense. Yeah. They definitely came out on top with this one. But it was a good game to watch in terms of how they went back and forth. Two evenly matched teams. Just one came out on top at the end of the day. But always good to watch student athletes playing, especially at Laker Turf. Despite the rainy weather, it was a good day. A lot of good games went on. And thank you so much for listening in and watching our broadcast at WTOP 10. Yeah, as the games here at Laker Turf conclude for the day, the Geneseo Knights defeat the Oswego State Lakers in field hockey 2-1, and previously, earlier this morning, the Oneonta Red Dragons defeated the Oswego Lakers in men's soccer by a score of 4-1, with the one goal coming from Rivera on a penalty kick for the Lakers. That's all we have for sports coverage here tonight on WTOP 10. I'm Kyle Spizak for Jolie Santiago, for Jacob Bradley, Garrett Chan, Natalie Barden, and all the rest of our crew. We thank you for tuning in, and we will see you all later this week for more sports, and tomorrow night as our productions come back up tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic night as the Lakers drop 2-0 against the Geneseo Knights.